Anyway, all right, you guys having fun? All right, so your next comedian, he's a regular at all of my mics. He actually started his comedy career at my mic. Jesus, can I talk? And this is his first paid show. So let's give it up for your next comedian.
You're already funny.
Please continue. So hello everybody, if you cannot tell already, I'm not from here. I am from the motherland, I come a long way. And I must say, I do not like buses. The last time I was on bus, it take me to Gulag. So, this will take getting used to, right? But I want to tell you a little bit about growing up in Russia. Everybody think we are all bear on unicycle. Do I look like bear on unicycle to you? Only bear I know in Russia is my wife, but we will get to her in a moment. You know, we have this thing, you know, you have bar mitzvah, quinceañera. We have this thing called Russian bar mitzvah. It is like you chug a bottle of vodka and you go into forest and you fight real bear, not my wife, real bear. Right? But I am pacifist, right? So I make friends with bear. I name him Barry. I brought him to America with me. We will get there in a moment, right? But, you know, the thing is, everybody asks how you immigrate to America. It costs a lot of money. Everybody know Gretchen, right? Gretchen, say hi. See, you all see Instagram model, yes? Yes. I see mail order bride. I make profit selling beautiful women to lonely Americans. Right? Is there any lonely American here? Nobody want to admit it, but I will sell someone to you. It is not slavery if it is consent. But you know, so I make profit. But I said I would talk about my wife. I actually have 4 wives. So first wife is, she is what you call thief. First she take my money, then she disappeared. I don't know where she is. Second wife died because of communism. But she deserved it because she liked communism. Right? My third wife is back in Russia and my 4th wife is here in America. And sometimes I go to 4th wife and I say, hey, are you ready for sexy time? And usually she say yes, because she don't have choice. But sometimes women have thing called menstruation, and when she have this, she say, no, you cannot defeat the Red Army. That is our code. And so I fly to Moscow and I have sexy time with 3rd wife. That is what she is for, yes? But you know, everybody asks how you get 4 wife. It is easy. Pickup line. American use it, Russian use it too. First pickup line you ever want to get a Russian girl. Hey girl, are you a gulag? Because I'd like to get inside you for no reason. You know, if that doesn't work, you could always say, hey, I may be Russian, but you know what else is Russian? The blood to my penis. But if none of that work, you go for kill shot. Hey girl, are you Ukraine? Because I'd like to come inside you without permission. I have 4 wives, you cannot deny that it worked, yes? You know, so I said we would talk about gulag. You know, so my wife, my only family, because my family died from famine, yes? But I actually do have brother, but he is in Gulag in Russia. And he called me one day, he said, help me, I am in Gulag for 15 years. I say, what you do? He said, nothing. I said, you're a liar, punishment for nothing in Russia is 20 years, not 15. Hey. But he is like, I am your brother, you will not help me. I'm like, there is no we in brother, but there is you in Gulag. You know, he did not like joke as much as you guys did, so he's like, I'm going to break out and kill you. And I'm like, you're in the Russian prison, you want to break out? Gulag with that. You know, I always say Gulag is like a good pussy. You don't get out that easy. You know what similarity between Nazi and drunk Russian is? You know, Nazis from World War II, it is they forget winter coat and they don't pull out in time. It is history joke, yes. I am knowledgeable Russian man. You know, but, you know, now I'm in America. there's a lot of different things here in America. Like you have Chick-fil-A. Does anyone like Chick-fil-A here? Like we don't even have chicken in my country. Like they're all extinct. Like it blows my mind. You make chicken food. You have abundance of chicken. You have a middle class here. That is something new to me. And you don't have gulag. So I know this bus cannot be taking me to gulag. So we are good to go. But American, you always brag about your amendments and your rights. And I want to tell you, Russian have same rights, okay? So like, First Amendment, you have free speech. If you go to White House and say, I hate America, nobody will arrest you. But if you go to the Kremlin in Russia and say, I hate America, still nobody will arrest you. We have the same rights. But Second Amendment is where you get ripped off. I promise. In America, you have a right to bear arms. But in Russia, we get the right to full bear. I said I bring my friend Barry here. I left him at the Rosen Hall. I hope he is okay. I left him in blue spot with square. It looked like a bear. But police officer stopped me. He said, you cannot park bear here. I say, what do you mean? I have clothes on. But there is a lot of phrase I don't understand. You Americans say, like, we were coming for a trip and my friend was like, let's hit the road. I'm like, why you want to hit road? What the road do to you? I do not get it. Road is one benefit of capitalism and you want to hit it? Unbelievable. Sometime I tell story and my friend is like, oh, spill the beans. I'm like, why you spill beans? We already have lack of food in my country and you are here wasting perfectly good beans? Why you do this, America? This is why everybody like, America fat, they waste beans. Same thing. It's like I say, oh, I am nervous. People are like, oh, it is piece of cake. I'm like, where? We don't have cake in my country. For your birthday, you're lucky not to be alive. Like, there is a similarity. What is similarity between religion and penis? If you show it to KGB, you get shot. That is how it goes in Russia, unfortunately. But I escaped. Here I am. Hello. The other one was the other one slipped my mind. I'm like, this bus, it get to me. But I do have confession to make. I have confession to make. I lied to all of you. I do not have 4 wife. And I'm an American from New York. Yeah, sorry, I strung you guys along. I'm just a nice Jewish boy from New York. And the thing, and like my birthday was April 1st, so I was meant to be a prankster, so you're welcome. But the thing about being born on April 1st, it looks terrible on an ID, right? And so for my 21st birthday, I wanted to look good, right? So I shaved, unlike now, I learned my lesson. I went out to the local bar, I hand the bouncer my ID. He looks at it and he's like, April 1st? That's real funny. Try the Dave & Buster's down the road. I hear they do birthday parties. I wasn't going to be discouraged, so I went to the Kroger. I'm going to get a 30-pack. I'm still going to have a great night. It's my birthday. Kroger confiscated my ID, and they said, ha, that's funny. Strongest thing we can sell you is mouthwash. On like an unrelated note, it's like 3/4 of a gallon of mouthwash to feel a buzz. But I still was not going to be discouraged, right? So I went to Amazon Prime, got a new ID that said April 2nd. And I went to my favorite bar. I slammed that ID down on the ground and I said, let's get fucked up. And the bartender looked at me and said, sir, this is a Dave & Buster's, calm down. The thing about being Jewish, you have Jewish grandmas, obviously, and more than anything in the world, they want you to marry Jewish for their grandkids, right? I found out my grandma went to extreme lengths for this to happen. Like, she's the reason I'm circumcised. Yeah, I was like, Grandma, why would you do this? I needed that extra inch. And she's like, I just want you to marry a Jewish girl. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? She's like, Jewish girls can't resist something, 10% off. And now people are like, give your bartender a tip. I'm like, I can't, thanks, Grandma. And like, I've never played just the tip. I'll never know what the hype is about. But you know, another stereotype about Jews, people think we're good with finances, right? Well, obviously some people disagree because I got rejected from my own company's credit card twice. Yeah, they said like I didn't have enough credit history. I'm like, I'm Jewish, what else do you need? Like, you want to see my fucking bar mitzvah certificate? And it's like, being Jewish and applying for credit cards should be like having TSA pre-check. Like, are you a terrorist? Oh, you're Jewish, get this man a credit card. He's good to go. Yeah. You know, I told my parents some of these jokes, and like, my mom was like, Jacob Harris, those are not funny. And my dad was like, that's not funny, Jake. The ironic thing is my dad's Jewish, my mom converted. So it's like, what's going on there? It's like, why? It's like when a minority gets offended, or when someone gets offended for a minority group they're not part of. Yeah, thanks, Mom. And you know, my parents told me, they were like, some of these jokes aren't funny. And I was like, well, I disagree. So here I am. So obviously, I'm looking for love. I'm single, obviously. You know, I'm a little chunky, as you can tell, but you know, everyone says find the workout program that's right for you. So I found a Jewish workout program. It's like you put down a deposit, and if you hit your fitness goals, you get all your money back. Like, this was a real fitness program. I hit the goals, I got my money back, and you know, I'm still chunky. But you know, I looked for love in all the wrong places. You know, I went to Vegas in December. And despite being in the middle of a desert, Vegas gets a little cold in December, right? And, you know, I'm walking down the strip in my jacket, and this girl slaps me on the ass. And I turn around, and I find this girl in her underwear, and she's like, hey there, you got something for me? I looked her up and down. I said, I'm sorry, I don't have an extra jacket. And I moved on. And then it was like 10 minutes later, I realized that was the local horny single Pornhub told me about. I missed out. Missed out, guys. You know, while we're on the subject of porn, I'd ask who watches porn here, but anyone who doesn't raise their hand is a liar. But every guy knows jerking off is 30 minutes, 25 of which is finding the right video. The thing with me is I can only get off to a certain type of porn. Like, there's only one hole that really gets me going. Plot holes. You know, it's like, the porn has to have a good storyline. Like, you know, I go to Pornhub, I see the ad for the local horny single that I ignore, and you know, it's like, Amish girl takes it from behind. I'm like, alright, sounds good, click. Well, Amish girl strips down and she's got pierced nipples and tattoos. That's not allowed in the Amish religion. This video is obviously fake. So I have to find another video, right? And it's like, girl goes to doctor for checkup, ends up taking anal. It's like, oh, the doctor's like, ooh, I feel your heart rate increasing. The stethoscope's like not even in his ears. I'm like, wow, what kind of doctor are you? Obviously not a good one. You would not get my services. And you know, the worst of all is when it's like siblings fuck when mom's not home. And like, I finally think I found a good video, and then it gets to the end credits and they don't have the same last name. Like, these aren't real siblings. I can't get off to this. Come on, guys. So, obviously my quest for love had to continue. So I went on a cruise. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, actually I went on a cruise with a couple people here. I won't point them out. Hey, Dallas. And, you know, I went to karaoke, you know, thinking, you know, girls love a guy who can sing. Well, this girl before me sung My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. Like the Titanic song on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
Too soon.
Man, like, I'm not a fast runner because I mentioned I'm chunky, but I sprinted for that life jacket, man. Like, I don't like this term in 2019, but she was asking for it. Man, so I tried my hand at singing. It didn't go so well because I'm still single. But really, I just wanted something other than the waves to make the bedrock that night. You know, and like, it didn't work, so what am I gonna do? But you know, the one thing I've heard, I'm a hopeless romantic at heart. The one thing I've heard is like, rolling over and kissing the person next to you good morning is the sweetest thing in the world. Well, the one time I tried that, all I got was, get the fuck out of my Uber. That's why I have a low rating on Uber. Yeah, so I obviously go on a lot of adventures, and sometimes I have to explain some of them to my coworkers. And you know, my coworkers, their primary language isn't English. So sometimes I have to explain a few words. So for example, I went to a music festival, it was fun. And you know, I said like, oh, this guy offered me cocaine. And you know, I was like, I had to say no, because I don't do that occasionally. And so she was like, oh, no, that is good. You should do a blow. I was like, excuse me, you just said cocaine's bad and you want me to do a blow? Like, she's like, oh yes, do a blow. I'm like, oh, you want me to assault this man? Well, you have to understand, blow is another term for cocaine. And she's like, oh, okay. Give him a blow. I'm like, let's stop using the word blow. You know, it was even funnier when my coworker found out what Netflix and chill meant. You know, I like to give him new tidbits, like, hey, what are your kids really saying? And he's like, oh, Netflix and chill, I know this one. I do it with my kids every weekend. Sometimes I bring them snacks. Sometimes they have a friend over. I'm like, are you sure? You're Netflix and chilling? So I showed him the Urban Dictionary of Netflix and chill. Yeah, he does it. He's like, no more Netflix and chilling in my household. Yeah, that was good. That was good for him. All right, so we're just about to our second destination, but I'll leave you with the best prank ever you could pull on a Jewish person. So Hanukkah is a very sacred holiday for our religion. The candles lasted 8 nights. It was a miracle. So, you know, in terms of that, blowing out the candles is a sin. You can't blow out the Hanukkah candles. So next time your friends are celebrating Hanukkah, ask to join the celebration and bring some prank candles, the ones that never go out. So what you do is you're like, I brought the candles, don't worry. You put the candles in. And you know, most Jews, what we'll do is we'll say the prayers, we'll light the candles, we'll forget about them. Two hours later, they're out. These candles ain't going out. Nope, those Jews are gonna freak the fuck out when their candles are still lit 7 hours later. They're gonna be like, it's the second coming of God. This burning bush is right here talking to me. Yeah, and no, it's just a prank, bro. Alright, we here? We're almost here. Alright, so I like puns. Everyone here like puns?
Yeah!
So my dad's bakery burned down the other day.
Aww.
Yeah, his business is toast.
Hey!
There's gonna be a delayed laugh on all these, you know. And my mom, it's a good thing she can support the family. You know, she used to work in a can crushing factory, but she got fired. Yeah, that was so depressing. You know, but hey, I learned a fun fact that I'll leave you guys with. Why do all the Norwegian naval boats have barcodes on them? Because when they come back from battle, they got a Scandinavian. I've been Jake Recoon. Thank you so much.